snaps her fingers, and you're going to see a pile of cards that start to shuffle. And she's going to ask you all, as they kind of like float around the circle, for each of you to place your hand on top of it, thinking about your object and kind of just putting in your own thoughts about these things. So basically, like, your object is below the deck of cards, and then your hand is above the deck of cards. And each of you kind of like holds that position for like 5 or 10 seconds before the deck moves on when you open your eyes. And then eventually, after about 5 or so minutes, it's going to come back to her, and she's going to continue to shuffle these cards. And you all are going to notice after some time, her eyes have gone completely black. And she no longer has any like white of her eyes. She just seems to be kind of like staring forward, almost catatonic, but the deck is still moving. And as she's kind of speaking about things, she's going to note the moment where each of you has come into this story, that you are all far travelers in a land where you will never leave again, that you have great trials, great, great things to do before you will have freedom from Barovia. That her people, your people, and all the people of Barovia are all locked into this horrific cycle that, if nobody does anything to stop it, will continue on and on. And she's going to kind of finish with a moment where, in a very kind of like shadowy voice, she just says, like, and the cycle will continue and continue to the ever-suffering pain of her. And then she's going to draw a card. And as this card kind of like pulls out from the deck, um, like in the shuffle, it's going to kind of like come out a little bit, and like she very quickly like reaches out and grabs it. Like, that's how she kind of pulls it, is just in the middle of this other conversation. She kind of like grasps at this card, and she's going to flip it out onto the table, and you all will see the first of the cards. It is the leftmost of these cards. It is the Seven of Discs. And as she looks over it, she's going to say, the Seven of Discs. Failure in Netzach. The conditions of early life. Earthly life. The conditions of earthly life. Look to the crossroads of life and death. What is buried among the deads is most important, for the wisdom of the ages is yours. And almost seamlessly, she kind of continues back towards the previous little conversation, and kind of like, almost without even recognizing that the card was pulled, Madame Eva is kind of talking around the group, and these cards are still shuffling before her. And it's maybe another like 5 minutes before, still in her trance, but still more Madame Eva than when she pulled the card, another card is going to kind of flip forward from the deck, and very quickly she's going to reach out and grasp it. And you're going to see as she places it down on the table, and it is the top card, the Three of Cups. And as she kind of sets it down, Three of Cups, abundance in Baina, fruition, love. Look to the pool of the lovers in the west. The water contains the blessed light of the white star Delban. And then, as she finishes the last syllable of Delban and kind of like draws off, the cards continue to shuffle. She continues to have conversation with you all. 5 minutes go by, 3 more minutes, and a card slips out of the deck, and she grasps it midair and sets it down onto the table. The Six of Swords. Science in Tifereth. Invulnerability in the swords, rose-tipped cross. Beneath the bones of the blackened... Beneath the blackened bones. The Mad Dog's mausoleum. Created of intellect. Science. In swords. And she's just going to kind of like almost shake her head a little bit. Her eyes are still blackened, kind of looking around to the group. She continues the conversation, and the cards are going to continue to shuffle. And over the next few minutes, nothing seems to happen. Maybe 10 more minutes pass by. And then all of a sudden during this conversation, card's going to flip out of the deck. She's going to grab it and set it down in the southernmost position. And she's going to say, Lust, the lion of death, joy and desire, prison and death, the doom of those who have died and remain trapped in many bodies. The woman gives the cup of life, the impregnated womb. Seek the daughter, death's ally. Her fate is in the balance. A womb of water would give her new life, or present her death. And as she finishes the syllable of death, she continues on with the conversation, eyes still blackened, the deck of cards still shuffling, until eventually another few minutes goes by and the final card starts to move out. She will reach for it and place in the center the Hierophant. Cosmic law, governed in Va, the heart of a child, dominion through will, the cosmic principles. Where the mother lies, so too you will find the fate of all the future. And as she finishes saying future, her eyes are going to go back to white and normal. And she kind of looks to you all as the deck kind of floats down to the table.